Miss Cuddy is Nutty. Chapter 4. I didn't even know you could buy your own TV station, but I guess with $1 million you can buy just about anything. Everybody agreed that my idea was genius and that I should get the Nobel Prize. That's a prize they give out to people who don't have bells. Get it, Nobel? Well, almost everybody agreed. Annoying Andrea had on her mean face. She was mad because I came up with a great idea and she didn't. Mr. Cooper wrote down my idea and sent it to the office at the end of the day just before dismissal. Mr. Klutz made an announcement over the loudspeaker. Well, we had a lot of great suggestions for what we should do with the $1 million, he said, but I could only pick one, so here's my decision. We're going to start our own elementary school TV station. The winner is Mr. Cooper's class. Everybody started yelling and screaming and shrieking and hooting and hollering and generally freaking out. The winner is Mr. Cooper's class. Outside school the next morning, we were all excited. Some men wearing overalls were carrying giant cameras, computers, lights, and TVs into the school. Somebody said that every class was going to get its own flat-screen TV. When I got to class, one of those overalls guys was mounting a TV on the wall. That's when we heard Mrs. Patty's voice on the loudspeaker. Today is Wednesday, she said. Blah, blah, blah. Sunny and breezy outside. Blah, 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 blah. Today's lunch will be hot dogs. Blah, 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 blah. We have a birthday. Carrie Frew in first grade. Blah, blah, blah. She went on and on for 1,100,000 minutes. What a snooze fest. Nobody was listening. But after we pledged the allegiance, Mrs. Patty said something that caught our attention. Today will be my last day making the morning announcements, she said. Starting tomorrow, the announcements will be made over the new elementary school TV station. Yay! We all shouted. Okay, said Mr. Cooper. Turn to page 23 in your map. He didn't get the chance to finish his sentence because you'll never believe who ran through the door at that moment. Nobody. You can't run through a door. Doors are made of wood. But you'll never believe who ran through the doorway. It was a lady with dark hair and big eyes. My name is Miss Cuddy, she said. To what do we owe the pleasure of your company, Miss Cuddy? Asked Mr. Cooper. That's grown-up talk for, what are you doing here? Mr. Klutz hired me to help the class start your TV station, Miss Cuddy said. I'm a digital media arts teacher. Well, I never heard of a digital media arts, but we were all glad she was here because none of us knew anything about cameras and lights and microphones. And besides, we would miss math. This TV station is going to be awesome, said Miss Cuddy. Every class in the school will be able to watch the morning announcements, and people all over town will be able to tune in too. So your parents will see you on TV? Cool, we all said. Now, which one of you is AJ? Asked Miss Cuddy. Everybody looked at me. For our first week on the air, you're going to be the anchor, said Miss Cuddy. The anchor? I asked. Does that mean I get thrown off a boat? No, said Miss Cuddy. That means you get to read the morning announcements on TV. Well, how come Arlo gets to be the anchor? Whined Andrea. I would make a great anchor. You would not, I said. Would too, said Andrea. Not too. We went back and forth like that for a while. The TV station was AJ's idea, said Mr. Cooper. That's why he gets to be the anchor. I stuck my tongue out at Andrea. Na boo boo on her. I'm going to be the best anchor in the history of anchors, I announced. Well, let's not get overboard, AJ, said Mr. Cooper. Why is everybody always talking about being thrown out of boats? Miss Cuddy took us to the conference room where those men with overalls were hammering and sawing and building the scenery for our morning announcement. There was a flat-screen TV on the wall. The conference room was starting to look like a real TV studio. Miss Cuddy told us that somebody would have to operate the camera. Michael volunteered. Alexia asked if she could be the director. Andrea said she would write the scripts, and the person in charge of the lights is called the gaffer, and Ryan got that job. Neil said he would handle the microphones, props, and other stuff. Emily said she would take care of makeup. Miss Cuddy showed us how to work all the equipment. Tomorrow morning, she said, we're going to make history. Chapter 5. Making History. We got to school early the next day so we could be ready to do the morning announcements. The conference room looked just like a real TV studio. Miss Cuddy gave me a fancy jacket and tie to wear so I would look like an anchor man. Michael, Ryan, and Neil ran around making sure the equipment was working. Andrea handed me the script she had written. 2 minutes to air time, shouted Alexia, our director. Miss Cuddy gathered us all around. Okay, this is it, guys, she said. Our first broadcast. Are you ready to make history? Yay, we all replied. I can't hear you, said Miss Cuddy. Yay, we all replied. I sat behind the desk and adjusted the mic. Emily ran over and stuck some furry brush in my face. Hey, knock it off, I told her. I need to powder your nose, she said. It's shiny. I don't care, I said. Leave my nose alone. Get out of here. Emily started crying and ran out of the conference room. What a crybaby. 1 minute, said Alexa. There was electricity in the air. Well, not really. If there was electricity in the air, we would get electrocuted. As I stared at the camera, I felt myself starting to sweat. Every kid in the school would be watching me. My parents would be watching at home. A bunch of strangers would be watching too. Why had I agreed to do this? I wished we had spent the $1 million on pizza and ice cream and candy. I wanted to run away to Antarctica and go live with the penguins. Are you nervous, AJ? Asked Miss Cuddy. Yeah, I said. I think I might throw up. Good, she replied. That means you're excited. Remember to speak slowly and clearly. 3, 2, 1, said Alexia. A little red light lit up on top of the camera. I took a deep breath. Action, said Alexia. My name is AJ, and here are the morning announcements for elementary school, I said. Today is Thursday. The weather outside is cloudy and cold. Today's lunch will be chicken nuggets. We have one birthday. Rocco Garcia in 4th grade turns 10 years old. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Outside the conference room, I could hear lots of kids reciting the pledge. Thank you, I said when they were done. This is AJ signing off. Have a great Thursday. And cut, shouted Alexa. The red light on top of the camera went off. Everybody started clapping. Nice job, AJ, said Miss Cuddy. You nailed it, dude, said Michael. That's when the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. Miss Cuddy went to turn off the TV. But she must have pushed the wrong button, because she changed the channel instead, and some girl was on the screen. She was sitting at a desk in front of a microphone, and she was wearing a funny hat, fake nose, and glasses. This is Morgan Brocklebank, she said, and this has been the morning announcement from Dirk School. What? Dirk School is on the other side of town. We all call it Dork School. One last thing before I sign off, Morgan Brocklebank said. We want to give a special thank you to Mrs. Elementary, who donated the money for us to start our TV station. What? Mrs. Mentry gave them $1 million too, shouted Andrea. Well, that's not fair, shouted Neil. I thought she only gave the money to our school. Everybody was upset, but one person was more upset than anyone else. Miss Cuddy. Chapter 6. More Eyeballs. Miss Cuddy was staring at the TV with her mouth open. She didn't say anything, but I could tell she was really angry. She made both of her hands into fists, and it looked like her eyes were on fire. Those dirty, rotten, she was mumbling to herself. Then she started shouting. How dare they start up a TV station at Dirk's school the same day we start our TV station? This is horrible. I won't stand for it. She was really freaking out. I thought she was going to throw something. I had never seen a grown-up get so mad. That's when Mr. Klutz's voice came over the loudspeaker. Great job with the morning announcement, kids, he said. I was watching in my office. Terrific, AJ. And I just heard that 54 people in town were watching you at home. How many people were watching the Dirk School morning announcements? Asked Miss Cuddy. 60, said Mr. Klutz. No, shouted Miss Cuddy as she fell to her knees. She looked like she had just seen the earth destroyed by a meteor. I can't believe those Dirk jerks beat us, she moaned. Does it really matter how many people tune in to watch us? Asked Andrea. I mean, it's just the morning announcements. Miss Cuddy jumped to her feet. Of course it matters, she shouted. We are winners at elementary school, and don't you forget it. Nobody beats us. We're number one. I didn't go to film school for 4 years to come in second. She started pacing back and forth. We need more eyeballs, she muttered. How are we going to get more eyeballs? That was weird. Why would she want more eyeballs? Aren't 2 eyeballs enough? Miss Cuddy is nutty. What would we do with more eyeballs anyway? And where would you get eyeballs? I didn't even think you could rent them. Do you mean we need more people to watch out our morning announcements? Asked Andrea. Yes, Miss Cuddy replied. We need to do something tomorrow that will blow Dirk's school out of the water. Why is everybody else talking about boats? We could get a funny hat and have AJ put on a fake nose and glasses, suggested Michael. No, Dirk already did that, Miss Cuddy said, still pacing back and forth. We have to come up with something new and different. AJ, do you have any special talents that nobody else can do? Well, I can make armpit farts, I told her. Well, that's a special talent. AJ is good at telling jokes, said Ryan. He told jokes in the school talent show. Well, that might work, said Miss Cuddy. AJ, tomorrow morning I want you to come in here with your best jokes. Does that mean I don't write the scripts anymore? Asked Andrea. Well, you help with the lights tomorrow, Miss Cuddy told Andrea. Andrea looked all mad. I stuck out my tongue at her to make her madder. Ha! I would be in front of the camera while she would have to lug lights around. This was the greatest day of my life.